And so there's this group of people who maybe are already in a position to benefit from this discovery, who are already in a position to reclaim their sacred wisdom, to better attain this higher dimensional understanding of the nature of the solar system by just reclassifying the metaphors in their texts and reworking those metaphors. And so from that perspective, it seems fairly safe to me, and that this is a sort of time of incredible renaissance from the perspective of a mankind that has sort of lost his way in the cosmos. And it's incredibly auspicious. My most recent endeavors at describing this are in the forms of music, to try to bring consolation. My efforts right now are in trying to console those who have been on this other path, to encourage them to take light in what they have observed, what they have reasoned now with the empirical science, and to move forward in an auspicious way. Now, there also seems to be the need to tear down certain forms, to sort of reduce and nullify the influences of certain secrets that have sort of plagued the collective headspace. And, as a sort of luminous worker, as a sort of light worker that is operating at a arguably much higher frequency, that is in a sense feeding off of, or working with a sort of light, a sort of understanding about the nature of light that has passed through the temporal membrane. That sort of dialogue, that sort of vocabulary gets these individuals very much off guard and takes them down a sort of nasty reactive path that is going to be very difficult to counteract. And I've been trying to use, as I said before, this sort of brighter side perspective on the changes that the planet is going through right now, to compensate for the illusions that were taken to heart, or you might even say ingested to soul, in a lot of cases, that have sort of poisoned the truth in the minds of even the people who are wanting to do the light work. And so I'm hoping that in the future, if I reveal things about the nature of the work that I'm doing that seem incomprehensible or impossible or unlikely, the remnants of Carl Sagan's demon-haunted world, that you will take into consideration the possibility that science has abstracted a level to physical reality in its materialization of something that is more accurately portrayed as wave-like. In other words, there's a waveform that exists in the cosmos in the form of what we perceive as the Earth. And this planetary wave moves through the points of light that we see as the sun, and it is us that is moving through those points that produces our perception of the light. And I know I've probably said this over and over and over, but this is the primary message that is now empirically, with new empirical discoveries, provable. Not just empirical now, with mathematical. There's a mathematical basis for this that relies on the relationship between the sidereal day and the solar day, that demonstrates the nature of the primary time curvature. There's a primary curvature to time that produces the perception of physical objects. And that curvature folds over various frequencies. And those various frequencies, as they relate to us as beings, produce the phenomenon that we experience as physical, tangible reality.